All right, so today we're going to talk about self-portraits. I wanted to start by showing you an artist named Lucian Freud. This is the grandson of Sigmund Freud, who was a famous psychologist. And the reason that I selected him is not only is he an outstanding artist, you can see on this far right side, he creates amazing painting portraits. This is a self-portrait. This is what he looks like now. But another reason that I chose him is because he is the grandson of someone so famous, people have been hanging on to his art for a long time. So this is where he started in elementary school. This is probably like 5th grade, up into high school, and this is where he is now. So I just wanted to show you guys these series of images so that you understand that this is a work in progress, and that just like any other subject, math, science, history, these are things that, you know, if we work at, we get a lot better at. So it's okay if you're here. If you're somewhere up here, I'm really impressed. If you're here, you can have my job. Jokes aside, really, I just want to say that it's okay if you're not creating photorealistic images or self-portraits at this point, because we're learning, and that's the whole point, is to just get a chance to give these things a try. With that being said, one of the reasons that Mr. Freud is such an outstanding painter is because he understands human anatomy. And so I'm going to show you guys 3 really important things to keep in mind whenever you're drawing the human face. You need to know the eyes, the ears, and the mouth, because those 3 things follow really specific guidelines. So normally when we think about eyes or the face, we think that it's most of our head. But really, you can see, if I draw a line through this guy's eyes, shout out to the stock photo person for being my test dummy. So this line straight through his eyes, we can kind of start to see. I'll draw one on top of his head, one under his chin, and then what happens when I take that images away is that we can see that those eyes are actually perfectly in the middle of his head. So I'll go back and let you guys see. The eyes are in the middle of his and your and everybody else you know. The eyes are in the middle of the head. The next thing I want to show you guys is the ears, because the ears, they're not as specific, but they follow a really good guideline as well. So if I draw a line on top of this nice stock photo lady's face, we can see that her ears are in line with just above her eyes, pretty much through her eyebrows. Draw that line on the bottom of her ears, and we can see that it comes to the bottom of her nose. And we can take a look at this photo guy from earlier. We can draw those same lines, and his head is tilted backwards a little bit, so it's not as perfect. Put a line through his eyes and a line through the bottom of his ear, and we can see that, you know, his head is tilted, but pretty much the bottom of the ear is in line with the bottom of his nose. The top of the ear is in line with his eyes. So that's something good to keep in mind. The third and last thing I want you guys to take away from the anatomy of the face is the mouth. So if you're drawing a mouth, it is pretty much a guarantee that your pupils, if you're looking straight forward, your pupils are in line with the sides of your mouth. So that's something that you can keep in mind as well and put in your pocket. I showed you guys all these different proportions. You can see on the left all these different proportions, these breakdowns of the eyes, the ears, the mouth, how those line up, how those correlate. But if we drew every face the same, with the eyes perfectly exactly in the middle, and the ears right in line with the eyebrows, and the nose and the lips perfectly in line with the pupils, and the chin shape is the same, and all those things, every person would look the same. So it's important to keep in mind that these are building blocks. These are important things to keep in mind, but they're not necessarily how you should create the entire drawing. As you can see on the right, once you have those building blocks down, you can start to make that face look more like the person that you're trying to draw, which in this case is going to be ourselves.